Hello and welcome to this week's video. So I have a full face of makeup on here. I went ahead and already got that out of the way. But as you can see, I still have my handy dandy bonnet on, and that's because today I'm going to be walking you through my curly hair routine. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so for starters, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off. I really like this bonnet. I got it on Amazon, not too much of a crazy find, but I like that it ties in the front and that makes it a lot more adjustable. My hair has already been washed, so yesterday was wash day for my hair, and I didn't put a whole lot of product in outside of just a general detangler leave-in condition. I used this leave-in conditioner from the Kinky Curly brand. This is my natural hair. I don't have any extensions, I don't have any treatments on it, no perm or anything like that. This is just it in all of its curly glory. So this is kind of what we're working with as far as the length goes. You can see it's pretty long, comes down to about here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the styling and kind of walk you through my process. So I'm just gonna go on ahead and kind of part it a little bit. I do have these slightly shorter pieces here in the front, and then the rest of my hair is pretty much all the same length, but I will separate it into two sections for styling. I find that's the easiest way to work with my hair. I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but I don't have super thick hair. I'd like to say I have pretty medium to fine hair. So most of the products that I'm using are made for that medium to fine. However, my fiance's hair is a lot coarser than mine is, and we do use a lot of the same products. So just throwing that out there, like if you're curious about like your curly hair type and all of that, I'll see if I can find some resources down below to kind of help you figure out what your hair type is and give you a better sense of what products you could use in place of the products I'm using here. So when you're a curly girl, water is actually your best friend. And for years I would be terrified that it would rain because I would wake up and straighten my hair every single day. So the idea of a rainy day or something like that was honestly my biggest fear. I hated water because it would of course mess up all of my hard work that I did to straighten out all of my natural curls. And now that I've learned to embrace my curls, I can tell you that I am no longer afraid of those rainy days. Of course, you still get frizz. Like I think that's just a part of being curly hair. Curly hair girly is just embracing the frizz a little bit. But when it comes down to like styling, the wetter the better. This spray bottle here, so it's actually a mister. So then when you spray it, it kind of like stays spraying and it's in like a nice clear mist. And so like I said, I did wash my hair yesterday. Yesterday was wash day. I washed it, I let it air dry with just the leave-in conditioner in it after detangling. So as you can see, it's pretty easy for me to run my fingers through my hair. That's courtesy of the leave-in. But before I add any other products, I do want my hair to be pretty wet. So you can see here, it's pretty wet. I'm making sure that it's soaked quite through. So you can see here that my hair is pretty wet. Once my hair is wet, I go ahead through with the Denman brush, detangle the rest of the way, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wet my front pieces here, my bangs, a little bit more. This tool here is kind of the holy grail of curly hair tools. This is my Denman brush. I've had it for years. Okay, so once your hair is nice and soaked through, that's when we're gonna go ahead and get into the styling. So I always start with the heat protectant because I do use a blow dryer. This one is from Chi, it's the 44 Iron Guard. I think any heat protectant is good. Just use a heat protectant. It's better than no heat protectant. So I've got the heat protectant on there. Now we're gonna go straight in with the gel. So this is also from the Kinky Curly brand. It's the Curling Custard Natural Styling Gel. I love this gel. I also use this, as you can see, I love this gel. It's almost gone. So I'll need to get more of that. But it's seriously one of the best gels I've ever used. It's not super thick and like hardening. It's really light, and when you have medium to fine hair, that's super important because it doesn't weigh down those curls. With that gel, I'm gonna just go through and use my Denman here to coil. So with my products being in the hair, I just come in here with my Denman and I coil. I might need a little more water. My hair kind of naturally starts splitting into sections when it is this wet, so you can get a good sense of where to section off the hair. We go upside down, twirl it around the handle of the brush, and then use that handle to just kind of help guide the coil. So you can see here how much of a difference that makes. We're gonna go ahead and do the rest of this side. Okay, and once you've gone through and coiled each individual one, you can see I'm kind of scrunching the curls up so that way they hold their shape a little bit better. That's when I'm gonna come in with my mousse. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get a pretty decent amount of mousse. That's like 3 pumps of mousse, and I'm just going to tilt my head forward a bit, come from the bottom up, and scrunch the mousse into these curls. I don't know if they still sell this one from Lotta Body. I feel like every time that I find a mousse that I like, it ends up being discontinued. But if it still exists, this one is great. Again, similar to the gel, it's really lightweight and it's not like too sticky or too strong of a smell, which is very nice. So I just scrunch the mousse, and you can hear how wet and full of product my hair is. That's super important. If you feel like you need a little more mousse, I'm just gonna do 2 more squirts of mousse to get this one up here in the front. And yeah, and I'm going all the way up to the root, and same in the back here. I scrunch the curl all the way up into the back. Now, once you have your hair full of product and you've given your curls some real shape, that's when you're going to come in with your blow dryer. I do have the Dyson here. You're going to want an attachment similar to this one. It's called a diffuser. You can get just the attachment and put it on like any blow dryer that you already have. You will see I'm going to be leaning my head forward a lot, and that's so that way the air can kind of get underneath and give me a bit more volume. And then I might also lean my head forward like this to do the same thing. Get as much air up and through the root as possible to kind of lift the curls. Oh, what I almost forgot, settings wise, I always have it on the lowest heat setting and the highest air setting. So that's what works for me. Depending on your hair type, you might need different settings, or your blow dryer might function differently. So I always just try to use as little heat as possible. but the more air I find, the better the diffuser piece on my specific blow dryer works. Start drying these curls. So once it gets to this point, I can kind of feel that there's kind of a bit of a cast starting to form. Cast is just basically when the curls harden with all of the product on it, and then at the end you kind of break the cast. Now, all of the products that I'm using, like I said, they're for medium to fine hair, so it's not a super crunchy cast. It's never going to be like hard as a rock, like where if you tap on it, you're gonna hear like tapping. Some products will give you that effect. None of the products that I'm using do that, but you just want to be careful as you're blow drying that you know, wait for it to fully dry before you go in and kind of separate the curls or anything like that. So I'm gonna give this a little bit more drying time. I'm gonna give that a little bit of time to air dry the rest of the way and start working on the other side of my head. Okay, so now that I have styled both sides, I'm gonna continue to blow dry the rest of my hair. Okay, and that's pretty much the final product. So this will continue to settle. It's still a little damp in some areas, but yeah, if you want more volume, you can always hit it with a texture spray. The one that I have, it's actually a dry shampoo, but you can use this works as a texture spray for me personally. So if you want more volume at your roots, you can do that. I also like to oil my scalp before bed. So this one's from Melee, and it's like a rosemary and mint scalp and hair strengthening oil. Use a couple drops of this and kind of massage it in after like day 2, just so that way my scalp doesn't get too dry or anything. I want to keep my curls and my hair and my skin as moisturized as possible. Yeah, and that's kind of it for my hair routine. Let me know what you guys think.